Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello, hello, beautiful people of the world. It's Friday, in case you're not aware. Unless you're watching this on a different day, then it's that day and not Friday. But it's Friday now, right now, in this present moment where I am doing this particular presentation. It is a Friday, technically, but, we don't have to lock into days of the week. We always talk here on Operation Status Quo about so many facets of life. And, of course, we know one important facet is our belief in the way time exists. And so we have to deal with it as far as it goes. But, let's not get hung up on it at the same time. So wherever it is, whatever time of day or year or month or week or whatever it is for you is a beautiful thing. And I'm just glad that you're here with me. And I'm happy to be here with you once again on another Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, getting through another week of whatever the hell's going on in the world. I can't believe it. I can't really can't believe how quickly the year's gone past. It's just amazing when I think back. I went back up home for the holidays last year, Christmas, and it just seemed like yesterday almost that I drove up there, hung out for Christmas, and drove back home. And here we are, really at the precipice of the holidays once again. So, which I do love Thanksgiving, by the way. I always say Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I love it. It's just not that I even really get together with anybody anymore because I do enjoy being on my own so much. But generally I would love it because it's a nice time for people to get together and just have a meal and enjoy a day and chit chat and have fun without all the BS of gifts and all that nonsense that goes on. But anyway, hello and welcome. I am Pete Palma, and this is Operation Status Quo. This is the space where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, of course, we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. And you see what's going on out in the world out there today. So that's what you have to do. You have to make your own flow of quo and not just give in to the mainstream narratives that are chipping away at the very vibrancy of our souls, minute by minute, day by day. I don't know, all that type of stuff. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you're seeing me there because I'm looking on my YouTube stream and it says no data, which I don't understand because my OBS seems to be working fine. So, I see myself up. Oh, now it says excellent. Now it says excellent condition. We're back. We're back. Whew. God. I was scared to death for a minute there. Thank God. Hey-o. All right, so we're going to have some fun here today on a Friday because it's a Friday. Oh, I forgot to shut my applause off there. But anyway, it's a Friday, and we like to have fun sometimes on Fridays, and I like to have fun every day, quite honestly. It's funny because, all the stuff we talk about, these topics sometimes, because with just the way the world is today, it is heavy. It's heavy. But again, and that's why I talk about the way I talk here on Operation Status Quo, is it's just part of human existence, and we're always going to have these ebbs and flows of things that are going on, and it's just even more to me the worst or crazier that it seems out there is just more of a reminder to be centered and to not allow the powers that be externally, quote unquote, kind of bring you down, because everything really emanates from within. So always remember, no matter what, how much power you have inside to create whatever life you want to create. It's just a matter of really believing it and doing it. I'm just speaking for myself. I think about the way I do things compared to how I thought I would have done things based on the way I was raised, based on the way I used to believe about the normal society constraints and such. But, I don't believe any of that crap anymore. And it's really liberating and it feels great. So, it's not about being a bum or fighting the system or, being belligerent, none of that really. It's just really being honest with yourself and making choices of to how you want to have your life be. And we have to remember too, that a lot of the way we live overall is so geared into the confines or the parameters set within, the mainstream that we're used to, right? Our creature comforts of what products we use or, everything. I always make the jokes with the kids nowadays with their video games and stuff. I know sometimes I get a little harsh on the video games only because I feel like, the younger generation has just been their minds have just been polluted to just sit there and drool in front of the TV for, endless hours, playing some goofy game, there's nothing wrong with anything. I used to like playing games back when I was younger. I played the Pac-Man. I was into the Pac-Man. But anyway, so I'm just saying, we have a lot of power to, to mitigate those circumstances and to, what we choose. I mean, what I'm saying is like, if your whole life is predicated on you need the latest TVs and new furniture all the time and new fancy clothes or whatever fancy restaurant to go to, and I'm not saying not to enjoy anything. I just trying to say if you live your life with always that type of mindset and always wanting those type of things, and you're going to be more wrapped up into, this quote unquote, it's not the real world, but this bullshit world that they make for us. You'll be more wrapped up into that, right? Because you're going to have to you're going to have to live in alignment with that to have those type of things. But if you're happy just to wear a robe, you know what I'm saying, and just like hang around, like live in an RV, maybe have a cabin in the woods, you don't really need much of anything, and you can just enjoy life. So I guess you got to find whatever works for you in between. So, and just to speak on one thing very quickly before we get into our topic today, I'm not getting deep into it, but I just want to make a reminder because this whole thing, what's going on with Israel and all is like, it's just so contentious and like, there's so much anger, there's so much division, and I'm not choosing any sides or saying anything one way or the other. I'm not educated enough on the history of everything to even speak on it. I know they make a blanket statement overall that it's like, it's just, attacking Jews, as far as Israel goes. And then, on Palestine side, these people feel that they're trapped and not free. And I'm not speaking anything on it. All I want to just make one little point is just to please keep in mind that, our mainstream and the way they operate, that they create scenarios to divide people. Religion is a wonderful way to divide people. You get people all hepped up on that with their beliefs, and they're ready to kill each other. Couple that with some strategic strikes that that's not really done by either side, but by a third party just to get shit going. So it's always an orchestrated, planned event to push people in a direction and to cause confusion, obfuscate what's really happening in the world and such. Again, I go back to the human trafficking and the financial reset. I think those are the two big things that are really going on, and all this other shit that's around is just look over here while something else is going on over there. So again, for anybody who suffers in any of these conflicts, whether it be Russia, Ukraine, Israel, everything, even COVID, the poor people who've got jabbed up and believed all that crap and sick and dying and have conditions now because of it or whatever, to everybody, there's no harshness, it's just, please just let all this be. The more you see, let it be a way to awaken just a little bit more and be aware of how they're using situations purposely to divide and to divide and conquer. That's what it's all about. So they want to keep us not thinking straight, and they don't want us together. So just remember that it's all about that. It's all a big magic show, and unfortunately it's a magic show that comes with consequences because people die at the hands of a bunch of assholes, quite honestly, that have no compassion for human life and want to keep us like slaves. So that's what we're fighting against. That's what's going on in humanity right now. That's what this great awakening and everything that's happening in our world today is really all about. So it's not about living in fear. It's about stepping up and being true to yourself and doing what you want to do and making magic happen. So, all right. Anyway, so today, ladies and gentlemen, is the 13th of October in the good year 2023. And it's Friday the 13th. Oh my goodness. I hope everyone's safe out there. And no bad luck has befallen any of you during today, the 13th of the Friday the 13th. Anyway, October. So, today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is entitled "Hey, Smarty Pants." I've always considered myself quite the intellectual. I'll say it this way. I definitely think I'm smart. I'm not really interested in facts, as far as I don't mean it like that because that sounds like stupid, right? But I don't mean not interested in facts. I just mean, intelligence is not just knowing numbers or dates or whatever bullshit, that they teach in school. It's about being able to, it's really to me more about it's such a weird thing because like I always feel like I'm really not in this world sometimes. Like I really do, like when I talk about that we're the observers, like I really do kind of feel that way. I don't really get involved too much. That's why nothing really gets me upset overall. Like even all the chaos in the world, like tragedy struck me or my family or people I know. I mean, of course, I'd be upset and everything, but I also realize that it's just part of what's going on. So I think a lot of intelligence comes from a space of realizing that you're not the human, personally, that you're the you're the spirit that's being embodied in this incarnation, and your real you's actually here, and this little you here, right? The body really is less than. So I think sometimes we try to base intelligence on what degrees people have, or what they know of the crap that was taught, that's, I'm not even sure if it's true or not. Just because people can regurgitate a bunch of shit doesn't mean that it's true and that they're smart, right? So especially in today's world, I'm not going to be insulting too much, but a little bit. But I mean, we got a lot of dopey dopes out there. I mean, not for anything. Even today, I stopped into the store, and the girl was behind the counter. I grabbed an item. I thought she scanned it, but I guess she didn't scan it. And I put my card in, and then I said, "Oh, did it go through?" She goes, "No, I have to scan it." And then the other woman came up. She goes, "Oh, well, don't rush. I'm like, I'm not. I said, I'm not in a rush. I said, I thought she scanned it. I mean, I could have sworn I saw her scan. I don't know, but before she even grabbed the item and scanned it for me, she was just like kind of lollygagging about behind the counter. Like it took an extra 3 minutes, well, probably not 3 minutes, let's say a minute and a half, before she actually even acknowledged that I was there and did what she was supposed to do, which would have taken 10 seconds. And the woman said to me, the other one said, she knows me in there, the other woman, so she was just teasing when she said, "Don't rush." She goes, "Don't rush." You know what I mean? I teased back. I go, "Nah, I'm not in a rush." And I said, "Not for anything." I said, "You can't come into this place and be in a rush because, you're not getting out of here." I mean, it's just, it's horrible. You guys, it's the one thing about Florida. How slow can you go? Hey-o. These people aren't used to the Northeast Corridor and getting shit done. We got to get shit done. These people are like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. But it's great. That's one of the reasons I love Florida so much. Less pressure. So I have some traits here, some character traits that could indicate that a person has a high IQ. So we can go through some of these and see if they resonate with you. And I'm just laughing to myself. I say tongue in cheek, as far as like me thinking intelligent. I am intelligent. I mean, I'm not embarrassed to say that, So, but just ask me. I'll tell you all day long. I'm smart. I actually don't go around trying to say I'm smart. I'm telling you guys as my audience because we're having fun. It's a show, But I'm very humble around others, but I do realize that, like, I'm like, oh my God, like most people I'm around, I'm like, I always kind of got to bring myself, down a level. Although I will say this before I get into it quickly, you guys who stay with me regularly, I enjoy going for my swims at the pool. And yesterday here, I guess there was a storm going through. I don't even pay attention. There was a tornado watch and stuff like all day long till like 3 p.m. And, it was on and off kind of torrential, little bit of downpours, and the wind was kicking pretty good, and I got a little break in the action where it wasn't raining, and the sun was almost kind of out. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna head over to the pool, and so I go. I'm doing my swim. And these guys who are doing the landscaping, they're bugging out. Like the palm trees are going like, they're bugging out. Collecting up their equipment, and there I am, like a dope, right? Because I'm saying how smart I am, and I'm just swimming around the pool. There's, a little thunder, but it was in the distance. I didn't see any lightning, so I said, if this is the way I'm supposed to die, then I guess that's the way. At least I go while I'm going for a nice swim, something I enjoy doing. But these guys must have said, this guy's a real dope, swimming in the pool. There's a tornado watch and everything else going on. I said, but I look at it, it's like, well, as long as I don't directly see lightning overhead or anything, I feel pretty safe. And, what's the difference? I'm already wet anyway. It's a nice breeze. I did worry about chunks of the tree falling a little bit, but other than that, I mean, it wasn't that horrible that you couldn't go swimming. I didn't think so, but most people will not swim in that situation, which is even better because it allows me to have the pool to myself. All right, here we go. Let's get into this. Some traits that may indicate that you are intelligent. How about empathy? Having empathy for others. Highly intelligent people are good at being attuned to the needs and feelings of others, are typically sensitive to those in need and interested in learning more about people. I agree with that. I can check that one off the list for me for sure. I'm on my way to having a pretty high IQ already, ladies and gentlemen. Being empathetic, it is important, right? Think about that. Thinking of others first, being aware of others and their needs. If you're not don't have a high IQ, then you're not going to resonate with this. And if you do, then you're already on board and you know what's going on. Solitude is another one. A study back in 2016 suggests that smarter people tend to derive less satisfaction than most people do from socializing. They are comfortable alone. And I used to be much more of a socializer when I was younger, but over time I've really come to realize the beauty of solitude. And I think it's an important part of like keeping your center clear, because people don't realize, when you're around other people, you're always taking on their energy. So you have to be mindful of who's in your group, how much time you spend with certain people, especially, if you're aware that someone might be a little bit of a drain on your energy, So I think solitude for everyone is great overall, because it's a way to really be honest with yourself and really focused on yourself and what you should be doing as a soul to learn and grow as opposed to others. Let's see, mouth of a sailor. I've heard this before. They say people who curse a lot tend to be pretty intelligent, and I just don't fucking know if that's fucking true or not. Bunch of shit, asshole, crap, bastard. Does that make me smart? I just rattled off some curses. Bitch. There you go. Now I think I just did it. Let's see. What else we have here? Strong sense of self, right? I mean, people who have high IQs will have a strong sense of self. They believe in themselves. They know who they are. They have a strong center. This is because a strong self-identity typically means you feel secure in who you are and where your skills lie. And I agree with that 100%. Like even me saying, I'm joking. Like I really do think I'm a smart person, but I definitely know where my skills are strong and where my skills are not as strong. Like, I'm not going to, I haven't been trained or studied or ever like built a house before, right? So I'm not going to just start slamming some pieces of wood and nails together and hoping that I'm so smart I build a house, right? I mean, it's like anything else. But you know what you are good at. Like, obviously I'm good at this. I mean, you guys are here, right? We're having a good time on a Friday. Hold on. Okay, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? I have to be somewhat. I'm either very intelligent to be able to do this show, or I'm just I'm very I'm very crazy. I need mental supervision 24/7. Curiousness, curiosity, and to learn new things, to do new things, obviously would indicate a higher level of IQ, because obviously you want to learn and continue to grow. Being observant is another one, and this is one that stands out for me. I pride myself on that in a way. I notice. I mean, not even on purpose. Not like I purposely do these things but I've always been very aware. I notice subtle things like changes in the neighborhood. If somebody changed put a new tree in out front or something where I walk past, I'll be like, oh, that tree wasn't there before. Oh, yeah. Oh, the car has been in that same spot for like 2 days. I wonder if they're home or away, just stupid stuff. But I just notice things. I don't know, all kinds of stuff. It's like, actually, it's a curse. I wish I didn't notice. They do say ignorance is bliss, right? So maybe I should be going that way. A good body memory. Intelligence can show up in a physical context as well. High body, I never could say that. Kinetic. I never can say the word kinetic. I can never say the word right. I don't know why. High bodily kinetic. I guess it's kinetic. You know what I'm talking about. Intelligence I should never say that I'm smart, and then try to pronounce a word and do that incorrectly, because then, it kind of just diffuses the whole idea. I want you guys to really at least believe a little bit that maybe I'm smart. I'm smart, not dumb like everybody says. I'm smart, and I want respect. I was passed over. That's what Pop wanted. It's not what I wanted. It's from Godfather. I'm sorry if I lost you there. But anyway, high body intelligence can result in better coordination. You also have, you remember patterns of movement and replicate them without much effort. That's true. I noticed that too. Just recently, for whatever reason, where I hang the towel in the kitchen by the sink, I put it in a different spot. I wanted to start putting it in a different spot. And I had to put it back to where I had it before because I just keep going to the other spot where I had it before automatically, like over and over. And like every single time, like, oh no, it's not there, it's here. Oh no, it's not there, it's here. And so yesterday I put it back to where it was because I figured I'm tired of fighting with myself. If this is where my brain wants the towel to be, then that's where it's going to be. Creativity is a sign of intelligence. People with high IQs actually use both qualities. Which qualities are that? Intelligence and creativity is exclusive? No, they're. I start reading so fast. Gosh, I wish I could just slow down sometimes. It just gets on my nerves. Imagine what it's doing to you out there. Some people believe that intelligence and creativity, they look at it as mutually exclusive, but people with high IQs actually use both qualities together to achieve their goals. So, I always consider myself pretty creative. You know, I even with my guitar, I like to write music, and even doing the show, I find it to be somewhat creative. You know, back before when I did other things like my characters and my voices, I got to bring them back at some time because, that's a lot of fun to do that stuff. But, I always enjoyed that, making my little parody commercials and stuff back when I was doing my other form of this show back then. Worrying could suggest greater intelligence. Research from a 2015, it's 2015, supports a link between verbal intelligence and a tendency to worry. But I can understand worrying if you're, if you're more intelligent, right? Because you think of things, you're always thinking of things a lot. So, and anxiety, they mention anxiety here too, kind of the same thing. You're kind of always thinking a lot of stuff. So, but it's important that, even if you are smart out there and you think of a lot of things, you got to keep yourself in check and always stay centered. It's very important. Being messy actually says that people thrive intellectually in a cluttered environment because the disorganization forces the brain to focus more. Now, I'm not really sure. I'm kind of messy, but I'm like organized, messy kind of like, nothing's like, I don't have everything like perfect in its place, but everything is, I know where it is. And if something starts to like say like my papers, like for bills or something, when that starts to build up too much in a pile on my desk, then I go through it and get rid of everything. But, I could see messiness. Although I do think too, if you're messy and you're less organized, I mean, they're saying it causes the brain to focus more. It might actually cause more anxiety and worry because you're living in a mess and you can't find anything that you want. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Pardon me. To use or do. You trust in your own judgment if you're intelligent. I'll agree with that because I definitely trust in my own judgment. I much rather not trust in the judgment of others. I'm certainly not trusting in the judgment of our current leadership or anybody that's in charge of the world because obviously they don't know what the frig they're doing. So I got to at least be a step up on them. Modesty. And I was bringing that, like I said that earlier when I was joking around about saying how smart I am. I am very modest about it. Like I don't go around letting everybody know of my IQ and such. But it's like, and this sounds so like, it just sounds so funny. I don't know why. It's one of those things that I like to use as a joke a little bit. I don't know why about being smart. I really feel blessed. Quite honestly, it's a blessing and it's a curse. I look at it this way. It's a blessing because I really see a bigger picture, and I don't even mean this in a negative way, but I see a lot of people struggle in a lot of ways, because they're just living like bots, essentially. And I don't know how much that attributes to intelligence per se exactly either, but because people are so caught up in their own nonsense and, worldly in certain ways, and I kind of see things in another perspective, I'm able to kind of just mitigate around and, I'm not manipulate, but, it is manipulation in a way, but not like overtly trying to, trick somebody. But I just mean, I already know that people are focused here, so I can just do this or do that. Nobody's really worried about what I'm doing. And, I kind of float through, which is real nice. Now, that's the good part of it. The bad part of it is you got to deal with a lot of people out there, like I was talking about at the store. Like I said, can you just give me somebody with a half a brain that can like scan one item and I can just pay and leave? Like, is it possible to make that happen? Let's see here. Modesty, a lot of reading. I used to read a lot when I was younger, but I don't really read so much now. I just don't have the I don't know. I just don't have the focus to sit still. Maybe my ADD has progressed to the level where I can't sit and read. Good at managing your emotions is another one. I'll agree with that too, because I have a tendency I can definitely get up and down in certain ways. And I've learned over the years, I've really gotten good at managing my emotions. I'm very aware of times when I'm not feeling 100% myself, and I know how to treat that day or during that time period, and realizing not to take it out on other people, realizing not to maybe interact in certain situations that you would normally interact in when you know that you're emotional one way or another, so that you're not causing yourself more harm or causing harm to others, right? Good at keeping peace. I'll say this too. I'm not saying all these to compare them to myself. I'm only just speaking on my behalf because, I'm the host and I'm doing a show, right? But obviously your thoughts and comments are more than welcome. So please feel free to share and type in the comments and let me know what you think about this. Keeping the peace. Strong interpersonal skills also indicate intelligence, such as being skilled at conflict resolution. I'm always about bringing people together. I remember one time I was in a parking lot at a supermarket, and these two older guys, they were starting to fight. They were like these two old men. They were just squaring off on each other, just squaring off. And the one guy tried to throw a little kick, and I was standing, and they were foreigners, these guys, and I was standing back, a little bit, and I'm like, guys, no, don't fight. It's okay. Let it go. And they looked at me like, you get out of here. So, I don't know. They didn't really get into a total fight. They threw a couple little swings, and that was kind of it. But I mean, they didn't seem like in the condition to get into an all-out brawl. But generally, I like to try to bring people together. If I see people are upset or angry with each other, you got to be careful though. You get involved, and then either you get shot or somebody thinks you're an asshole for putting your 2 cents in. But I'm happy to keep the peace if people want my help. Understanding how much one doesn't know. That is probably the most important one. And that's the one thing I always say, as much as I joke around and say I'm smart, I go, and the only reason I'll say I'm smart is because the one thing I know for sure is that I don't know shit. You know what I mean? There's always something more to learn. And if you ever think you got it all figured out and you know exactly what's going on, even when your opinions are strong, that's a danger sign. So, you have to be aware of yourself and just realize that we all have skills and we all have knowledge, but it's just a drop in the bucket, and there's always much more to be aware of. Able to handle challenges. There's going to be challenges in our lives, and not freaking out and going off the handle every time something changes or gets out of whack a little bit. Being able to, again, stay center and manage new situations and changing events. That is shows resilience and also a sign of intelligence. Okay, adaptability, that kind of speaks for itself. I mean, obviously able to adapt to things that happen, being open-minded. I mean, God bless. I mean, thank you. Where are the open-minded people? That's when you want to say what percentage of our population may not be intelligent. Well, let's just go back to how many people are open-minded enough to have conversations about different topics and ideas, and not like just try to shut people up or I don't know, kill them. It's like, I don't believe what you believe. Kill you. It's just plain and simple. Like the guys who were the people that you were, during the time when saying that, people who didn't get jabbed up, shouldn't even be allowed to see a doctor, or just put them on an island somewhere. And, that can't be the sign of an intelligent person, right? Generosity is another one. Obviously, these kind of speak for themselves. People who are, in general, right, more intelligent people are going to be open to thinking about other people, being aware of themselves, seeing things from a different perspective. So generosity, having a high level of self-control, being able to think outside the box, which is also great. I mean, that kind of goes even with adaptability and such. Situations are always changing. I love to say, that about thinking outside of the box. And quite honestly, I never think inside the box. I had a job interview one time, and the woman asked me, I just kind of said, I'm looking for people that can think outside the box. And I said, well, that's good. I said, because I think so far out of the box that I don't even know where the box is. I can't even spell box. I don't even know what a box looks like. And I really do. If there is a straight line of like A to Z of a process, and that's it. The first thing I do is go A, and then I go around over here, and I just start jumping around and looking at all different other possibilities, because I don't know. It's just the first thing I do. I always see it's just an interesting thing. Like if somebody says, okay, this is the rule, and this is the procedure, and right away I'll be like, well, then you probably could do this and that, blah, blah, and get the same result, right? And people are like, oh, you always think, why don't you just do, no, I don't just do, because I do think, and just because you said doesn't mean that it's right for me, really funny. And I think that's true, right? Because I'm really funny, ladies. So where's my applause, my laughter? There it is. Because I'm funny. I'm funny. Not funny like everybody says. And I want respect. Oh my gosh. All right. Get out of here. Get out of here. They're still clapping for me. I appreciate that. Do you think I'm really funny? Let me know in the comments. I really don't care what people think. I really, it's obvious. It speaks for itself. I don't have to even ask the question. I know that I laugh at myself all day long, and I did not say with myself. I said at myself. Dark humor. Yeah, I have dark humor. But yeah, dark humor I always thought was a sign of intelligence. You think it just, I was like, God, how do I even think of these crazy things? That's so not nice. But it's really kind of funny, so dark humor, cat people. How about that? And I'm somebody that never in my life would have imagined having a cat. But of course, my little buddy came into my life about six or so years ago. And I really enjoy having the cat. I have to say, I would consider myself a dog. If I was going to pick, I would probably pick a dog, but I've learned a lot from having a cat, and he's really been great in my life. And I'm really happy, and I'm happy to see that it also further substantiates my level of high intelligence. A night owl is another. A lot of people who are pretty smart are night owls, and I used to be more of a night owl for sure. I used to always stay up really late. Just as I gotten older, my body changes. I kind of do my day. I get up in the morning. I don't know. I have no adversity to staying up at night. If something's going on, I'll be up. I can stay up till 2 a.m. It's no big deal. But let's see. Firstborn, I've heard this before too. A lot of times that the firstborn, if you're a firstborn, you have a higher level of intelligence. I don't know if that's in comparison to your siblings or just in general, but it says not because of their genes, but because of how they were raised. So I guess the elder child probably gets a little more attention and care, because once you get to 2 or 3 or 4, it's like I have no patience for this anymore. I did it with the first one. Let the other ones take care of each other. And the last one is talking to yourself. Contrary to the idea that it's a sign of madness, talking to oneself is actually a sign of a high IQ. Plus, it helps boost memory. Well, obviously, at the very least, I'm talking to myself here for over a half hour now today. So I do a lot of talking to myself. I enjoy talking to myself. I'm really the only one that'll listen to me for that level an extended period of time, except for you guys, the beautiful audience out there that I appreciate so much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a round of applause for our nice little set of information today here. How did you do? Are you intelligent? Let me know in the comments how you rate. How do you rate? Nah, everybody's good. You know what I mean? It really doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter.
Heyo.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time to be with me here today on Operation Status Quo. I love you guys out there. I really, really do. The world's great. Just stay positive. All that stuff that I always say. If you haven't done so already, please take the time to like, subscribe, share. Send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. I love each and every one of you individually as well as a group. Have a great weekend. God bless you. Have a safe weekend. And until Monday, unless you never know if I pop in on the weekends, it happened last week. But, otherwise, see you Monday. Until then, Operation Status Quo, disengaged.
It's a boulevard of 10 short blocks.